conquer Holland, they would only make it up to what they called the waterline, the big river, because those times there were planes, but not so many planes. So we would be safe in Utrecht. Why they decided Utrecht? Because before David, after my parents got married, they came to live here in Utrecht together with my father's brother, Oom Karel, because they worked together and they were very close. And Oom Karel worked, and before the war they lived in the street here, the Admiraal van Gensstraat. And it didn't help much. Holland was conquered in May 40. I was 6, I started going to school here. To walk from here, the school was in the Poortstraat.
There is still a school?
As far as I remember, there was a Jewish family living opposite us, but they didn't have small children. I was the only Jewish child at school. I used to walk every morning to school. When the...
אמא, סליחה רגע, תעשי עכשיו בעברית לילדים.
היא
יכולה? אבל לא נכון. בחוץ, הם ישמעו. לא נכון, היא הולכת לספר עכשיו סיפור, אני שמעתי אותה מדברת בכיתה. אבא, זה כן נורא. הקטנים פה לא מבינים.
תספר בחוץ שיכולה לספר עוד פעם.
אני אחר כך...
בוא נעשה פה קצר ובקצר.
תקשיבו לי,
מה צריך לשאול את כל הסיפור?
בחוץ את הכל.
אני רוצה רגע להגיד לכם,
רוצה לספר את הסיפורים מתלה צהוב.
אני אלך איתכם לכיוון בית הספר וכל הסיפור עם הכלב וכל הדברים האלה.
את יכולה לספר את זה באנגלית גם עכשיו על הכלב.
לא, רק על הבית.
תן לה.
אני לא יכולה הייתי לדבר.
You walk to school every day?
Slowly but surely what was it? I think now that I realize that it really was a very big and nice house for a family of 4 children. And it's a nice neighborhood.
You sound like Nima.
Wow.
I don't know how many people you are.
No, don't worry. Thank you so much.
And the Germans started taking, confiscating houses because they needed for their officers and everything. And they used to come and throw the people out and take the houses. And one of our friends, a Jewish doctor, said the only thing the Germans are afraid of are infectious diseases like so he said, I suggest you put a note on your door the smallest one that I've got roodvonk, ademet, because that's a disease that all victims start like the flu, and after a few days it's either pass or not, but the roodvonk, the ademet, you get a temperature a few days, and then nothing happens, and after 6 weeks you get like a kind of eczema and your skin starts again. And then you know it was that. But it's very infectious, so what it did was he stuck up a note on the door, infectious disease, and in the entrance, that's why I always remember the steps, they put bars, a little thing, with Lysol, with infectious, and everybody that came here actually must have dipped his feet in this Lysol. But it wasn't, because after a few days I was okay. But I stayed at home 6 weeks for school living. But it saved our house, because the Germans by that time didn't come back to this area, so we stayed in the house till we were
43.
till April 43, till he years old.
אז תחתכי פה
לא, רק תגידו שעברתי לאמסטרדם.
מה קרה באפריל 43, תגידי לו? או לפני
Yeah,
זה, אחד
the
ספר לך
one
סיפור עם
thing
הכלב.
that was-
לא, לא.
אני רוצה לספר לו על המשפחה.
חופשי.
When the Germans started the razzias, the chief of police in Utrecht, he was one of the good ones, as we used to go, and his best friend was a Jewish doctor. So when he heard in the mornings that he has to get ready for a razzia in the evening, he used to inform the Jewish doctor, and he would have time to warn the Jewish community that if somebody had the possibility to onderduiken, to get service, they could, but not everybody could and not everybody would. We didn't, because my father also didn't believe that it would be so bad. So we were caught one night in April 43. They came with trucks and they pulled us out of the house. But not before that already, during the year, the Jews had to declare everything they had in the house. And it's in the computers now.
Yes,
I can see
I know.
Have you ever seen it? I can see.
Yeah.
I've got in the computer, you can see
Ask you, yeah.
the carpets on the trap, lamps hanging here. It's unbelievable, actually, that the Jews we were innocent, and they thought it would be for the good. You don't know what for, and it's amazing. But in the
אמא,
website.
תספרי על הבית ספר, איך הוציאו אותך מהבית ספר.
לא, זה אני אסבר, אבל זה אני רוצה במיוחד להגיד להם.
One day I looked at internet and
Yeah.
typed this address, van Spijkstraat 12, and then immediately the first thing you get is that during the war one person died also.
Yeah, that's my father.
That's your father.
Because we were lucky, 5 of us survived it, my father didn't. So from here we went to the ghetto in Amsterdam,
Yes.
and in April, that was in April, and in June 43 we were taken to Westerbork. From Westerbork to Bergen-Belsen in January 44.
Yeah.
And my father didn't survive, he died in February 45, and we were liberated in April 45, but he didn't make it. And then we came back from the war in June 45. We didn't know where to go, and people were living in this house, so we couldn't get it back. It was never our house, I think, it was a hired house. But then they gave us the house number 17, because there also had lived a Jewish family. He was very famous, he was a professor, and we lived here till 1953, till I went to Israel.
Because you see this with quite some other houses also. Probably Jewish people lived there and they were confiscated during the war. Because number 17 I remember, but I think also number 3 or 5 or so. But you don't know about other... No, yeah, you were very young, of course. But yeah, so for a while you lived in number 17, and after that?
No, after 50.
Went to Israel. I went to Israel in 1953.
Okay.
And this is the result of 60 years in Israel.
Do you know the people?
יודע, אני לא מבינה.
אבל בעברית בחוץ.
יש לו עוד שאלות. הם רוצים לשאול אותך. הם רוצים להציע לכם לשתות.